Hi everybody and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra video and gameplay. Today I wanted to create a deck based on the Scargrounds. Super cool landmark that was released this latest expansion. The Scargrounds, a landmark 3 cost. When an ally survives damage, grant it +1/+0 and tough. And if you guys have watched my channel for a little while, you'll know that I really like Braum and Vlad decks. I've created a lot of them in the past. They haven't been super well functioning just because Vlad has been traditionally underpowered. He's been changed just a little bit the past couple of months to the point where he is at least viable, maybe a tier 2 option. He's definitely not top tier yet, but definitely in a better spot than he was. And the Scargrounds adds a little bit of versatility that Vladimir can use to his advantage. So Vladimir, when you attack, all of the units, all of your allies to the right are going to be damaged 1. Now, if they've already been on the board, if the Scargrounds has been out and they've been damaged before, they're going to get tough. And so this 1 damage that is going to be dealt to your units is not going to hurt them at all. And in fact, it's going to end up buffing them 1 attack damage, which is pretty cool. Gives Vlad a little bit more synergy in decks, and yeah, overall just kind of like the change that they're making. I think they're trying to make Vlad a little bit more viable, and he's definitely approaching that place. And yeah, we're including Braum in this deck as well for kind of the same reasons. He's got regeneration, he gets tough, he needs damage to level up, and then once he does, every time you damage him, he's going to be producing those mighty poros with overwhelm. Yeah, pretty cool card as well. Really like Braum and Vlad working together. Now, another cool card in this deck that we're running is the Ember Maiden. A lot of people aren't running Ember Maiden with the Scargrounds. Ember Maiden is kind of like a double-edged sword. She's basically the definition. You're damaging yourself. And yeah, I'm not really including any healing in this deck. A lot of people will play like the Tavern Keeper just to mitigate some of the self-damage, but we've got a lot of 3-cost cards already. We've got a full set of the Crimson Curator, who is basically our card draw in this deck, or card production at least. And then we've got the Scargrounds taking up 3 slots as well. And the Crimson Curator is pretty necessary just because of the Scargrounds. This is, going to fill up our hand potentially, and we don't really need... It's important to the deck, but the problem is once you draw more than one of them, they just fill up your hand and you don't really have any incentive in playing them. So we really do need the Crimson Curator out there to be producing cards and drawing cards. We're also running a full set of shared spoils to help mitigate that as well, but you still have to plunder. Alright, so let's go through all the other cards that we've got in this deck. Basically, our spells are just to help us stay alive. So we've got Elixir of Iron, we've got Troll Chant, Transfusion, yeah, and then Pack Mentality at the end of the game, which I decided to include in the deck. It is a slow cost spell, which is interactable, but it grants us +2/+2 and Overwhelm, and this is good because we're going to have a high attack stats. A one-off, I think, is justified, just to be able to get a little bit of extra damage with our units that don't have Overwhelm. And then we do have 1 damaging ability here. I guess Transfusion counts as well, but Death Lotus, which is nice as well. It can help clear out some pesky units and also buff ours up at the same time and help us get rid of units when blocking. I really like this when I'm blocking, or a little bit of extra damage when we're attacking if we've got something like Scarmother Vrina down. Alright, so now late game we have here 3 Scarmother Vrinas and 2 Basilisk Bloodseekers. These cards are in the deck for their Overwhelm as well as their ability to kind of synergize well with our other cards. So the Basilisk Bloodseeker has a couple of targets that we can use it on, especially if we've got Tough. So if we need more card draw, we can use it on the Crimson Curator. If we got Braum out, we can use this on Braum to help us. If he's leveled up, he can fill up our entire board with mighty poros. And then if we've got, if we're about to win the game, we can actually target the Crimson Disciple and deal 4 damage to the enemy nexus, which is really cool and extra reach. That's kind of a cool interaction that I've seen with this card. So anyway, that's about it for this deck. Super fun, enjoyed playing it. Definitely not really competitive at the moment. I need to fine tune it a little bit, but I'm still enjoying playing it right now. So if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks. Okay, so we're going against Draven Fizz, Bilgewater Noxus, Axes for invisibility. I've created a deck like this in the past. I don't really know how good it will be. I'm going to keep everything here but one of the shared spoils. We ended up pulling Ember Maiden, which is pretty nice. Maybe we can just play her. I think that's fine. 1 damage. I'm doing a whole lot to us. Perfect. We can play Crimson Disciple here. This should stop him from attacking with these two. And it does. Awesome. And I think we can just play the Ember Maiden, although I may attack first. Let's go ahead and attack first with our Crimson Disciple. Okay, so now we do have the possibility of playing those. Yeah, I think we just go for the Ember Maiden here. And our opponent surrenders. I don't know. I take out 1.5 of his cards there. Okay. So we are going against Shin and Lulu, Demacia, and Ionia. I think the most dangerous card on this deck is Relentless Pursuit. I think we keep Death Lotus, and we may keep Transfusion as well. Okay, so we get the Ember Maiden again. I'm keeping this for Young Witch. I think that's important. So I got turn 1 here. I think having turn 1 is pretty nice for me as well. We can end the round. Okay. I doubt he'll attack here. Yeah. Not really any point. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna play the Ember Maiden here. This makes it really difficult for him to play something like the I'm gonna play another War Chefs, huh? Alright, let's just attack. Why not? I've got Elixir of Iron. Our opponent surrenders again. My goodness. This is insane. 2 in a row from Ember Maiden at about 1:30. That's crazy. I'm not saying this deck is good, they're just giving up way too early. Alright, so we're going against Braum, Trundle, and Tryndamere. Our deck does not match well against this one because basically we're trying to do what they want to do, which is, you know, injure their units and, well, especially the Braum and Tryndamere, but Trundle can take it because he's got regeneration, so. Alright, Ember Maiden, not the best draw. At least we got Crimson Curator for turn 3. We got Scargrounds as well. Okay, so we haven't drawn a card we can play yet. 2 Scargrounds in our hand is not very good. Crimson Curator is nice though, just because we need some card generation. Yeah, I expect him to open attack. I don't know why he wouldn't, which is nice because this is going to allow me to develop the Scargrounds here. He's running a Freljord Allegiance deck, it looks like. So, alright, here we can't really protect our Crimson Curator, so I think we're actually going to start out with our Unscarred Reaver. See if he's got anything here. Let's go ahead with the Ember Maiden now. I hope he doesn't have Braum. Like I said, we don't match up super well.
United, nothing can stop us.
Okay. Alright, pack mentality. We haven't drawn any of our...
You'll regret when I leave this.
We haven't drawn any of our spells really. Pack Mentality just isn't going to do it for us. Alright, cool. That's fine. So he doesn't have his champions, it looks like, which is great. It's going to allow me to deal a little bit of extra damage to him here. One bad thing is we're dealing damage to ourselves every round, so that could suck. Alright, and we haven't leveled up our Vlad either, which also sucks. So let's start with the Crimson Disciple. We've got 2 Crimson Disciples, but we've actually got Pack Mentality that we can use here. If he doesn't have a very good card. It's an okay card, to be honest. Let's go ahead and just use the second Crimson Curator. Or sorry, first Crimson Curator. And see what happens. I wish I had my spells. Okay, so Vlad should level up here. Scarmother Vrina is a pretty good card this round, just because next round I'm going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage. We'll be able to proc her ability twice. Ooh, Trindamere. 7. Not quite enough. I think we just go for Scarmother Vrina. Yeah, he can't really attack with that. Let's take the hit. I'm taking the hit. He's running Freljord, so he doesn't have any like finishing move here. I would like to draw a second Vlad or a transfusion here. Perfect. So we're pulling everything to the side, and we are attacking. He's got no hard removal, so this Scarmother Vrina is threatening 11 damage on her own, and we still are minus 15. And he surrenders. Wow. I will say he did not draw his champions, so that really hurt him there. But I got some pretty good value out of the Scargrounds there. Yeah, pretty good value. That just racked up my damage just exponentially almost. Even with those 2 blocking units, I still was killing him by 15. So, pretty cool. Yeah, I got the kind of Ember Maiden win there.